Hi guys, it's Monica with the N100 Challenge Project. We are on interview number 2, day number 1 at Halfway Jam 2016, and we have Vader Eleven. Why don't you take a moment to tell everybody who you are?
Okay, well, I'm one of the members of
Yes.
Vader 11. I'm the singer guy. So,
The singer guy.
Yeah. I don't know how else. I guess the singer. Full stop. I'm the singer of Finger 11.
Which is great because usually we always get the guitarist. No disrespect to the guitar players, but it's nice to get the lead singer every now and then. So
That's
thank
very
you
nice. Sure,
so
my pleasure.
much. So you've been briefed on what the interviews that you're part of. We kind of talked about that before. Knowing that you're helping to raise essentially 1,500 meals just right now by sitting here, how does that make you feel? What do you?
You know what? I think you kind of forget. I mean, even just as a, you forget when you make music, it can affect people. And then maybe, if you, and then doing something like sort of inherently good by not making even too much of an effort at all, it's kind of special. I think I should sort of, what it makes me feel like I should be doing more is what it makes me feel like. But I'm honored to help in any way possible.
We appreciate you giving us your time. We have a few questions that the fans have kind of sent to us.
Okay.
We always screen to make sure they're, appropriate. Well, you would be surprised.
Okay.
One of them is, tell us what it's like coming from Canada to the States to play.
Well, you have to remember this. I mean, Canada's a very big country, and so is the States. But I think there's just a little more there's just more regions and compartments, of cultures in America. So it's just a different idea, it's too big to sort of generalize. However, I kind of feel like I'm in Canada right now. Everybody's just so polite and wonderful and great. And that's usually the experience that I get when I come to America. The thing is, you have a certain idea of what a place or geography is like in your head, and you get there and you realize, oh no, there's great people everywhere. You just have to go. You have to actually go there and get out of your head and meet people.
Yeah, exactly. The next one is, and I looked this up, so I'm not talking about. You had an original name.
I know where this is going.
Yeah. So what is that about?
So our high school band was called Rainbow Butt Monkeys. So we formed, in like maybe 1991, maybe even earlier. So I met James when I was about 12 or 13, and we would make music. And then when we got to high school, we met better musicians, and then we eventually formed a band and won a radio contest. And the name of that band was Rainbow Butt Monkeys. The name came from one of James's friends who was in high school and couldn't remember the name of Mandrills, and we thought, oh, haha, this is so funny. Let's use it as our name.
You cannot create a band and copy them.
You can if you want. Yeah, go ahead. You're fine.
The other one was, let's see what else we had to say. What's your favorite part about festivals, playing at festivals?
Well, it's funny because you get to, on a good day, there's a nice reunion. Because we've been around for so long that you run into other bands, and you have this intense little hangout, and then you're back on the road, and maybe you don't see them for a couple years. But it really, when you hang out, after a while, it doesn't feel like too much time has gone by. Like we just saw Theory of a Dead Man at the airport, and it was just nice to see them. I like the atmosphere. I mean, everybody's here to have a good time. Very, very seldom. I mean, you couldn't pick a nicer day.
It is. Really
It gets me out of the house. That's, I love singing. I gotta check to see if my voice is doing okay today. But I mean, I like everything about a festival because it's, well, as a band, you just get to enjoy it. You don't have to go through the hassle of anything. You're sort of kind of catered to. It's kind of wonderful.
And one of the last ones here is your all-time favorite artist or artists.
Difficult.
I know.
Really difficult.
I know.
It's a toss-up, probably. I was obsessed with Genesis all the way, since I was maybe 10.
I remember Genesis.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So they had, in the 70s they were like a prog rock band, in the 80s they were, kind of a pop. They did almost anything they wanted, which I really enjoy. Because I think on any Finger 11 record you can find heavy stuff and then really mellow stuff and then maybe a ballad, and that's okay. There's not a whole lot of rules. There's a lot of rules in specific genres where I just don't think rules should apply because it's music. So I haven't grown out of my love of Genesis, and I like that you can hear their fearlessness on the records, even though they're totally different.
Memory listening to them.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And you have a favorite song of theirs, don't you? That you know all the words to. What's your favorite song?
Paralyzer?
He knows every word.
You gotta sing it as loud as you can tonight. So I'm gonna ask everybody, but I want to hear you.
We'll be right up front,
Okay.
so you'll see him, and he like listens to that every day and just rocks out to that. So he loves that. So at the end of all the interviews, we ask all the bands, no matter if there are local ones, national levels, the same question. Think of like the ice bucket challenge that made it big, only no ice and water. So you get to nominate 3 other bands or artists or people you in the industry that you know to challenge to do an interview to keep the project going.
Oh, I would.
Who are you going to
okay.
call out?
Well, I would try to snag somebody from Theory of a Dead Man. That's an easy one.
Here's the problem. They have been nominated twice. They were nominated by Rick from Aggie's Way and another one. They have not got back to me tonight. I really need an interview with them tonight.
It would be
Somehow.
nice. It'd be nice. I don't think we're going to see the Seether Boys tonight, but we know them very
And
well, so I would nominate Seether.
I'm trying to get one with them too. Maybe we can. Come on now, guys. Seether, Clear Given, you both. I've been trying to contact you.
Well, you know what? I mean, best of luck, and if I see them, I'll definitely tell them.
That would be
Very,
great.
very easy,
Just-
fun, nice interview. You know,
Yeah.
for a good cause, obviously.
You got one more for us?
Oh boy. Well, who are you gonna see? Well, you know what? We're going on tour with 10 Years later on, and why don't I put them to work before I've even met them? I'll nominate 10 Years.
Actually,
and
we
I'll
did an
fight
interview
you
with
later.
Matt Wantland.
Oh, you did?
But, we did, but we were supposed to do it with Tater. So if we can get a hold of Tater, that would be
Cool.
a good one to do.
I'll pay you back later, guys.
Oh, okay. Any words of advice for your current fans or the new fans that are now watching, that are following this project? Or maybe young ones that want to get into the music industry?
Well, you got to fall into some sort of, I always do, you fall into cliches and platitudes, but it's not like I don't mean them. The music industry is really tough, especially now,
I've been hearing.
because your product is kind of not for sale anymore, it's for free. So it's not impossible, but you really just have to play music because you don't want to do anything else. And you feel like you can't do anything else, and you surround yourself with like-minded people and you just keep doing it, not for love or success, or actually for love, but not for money or success. That should hopefully fall into place. I mean, and then a huge degree of luck, but you kind of have to follow. You have to follow your heart, and if you don't have an instant success in 10 years, that's just the way it goes.
That's the way it's
that's music
kinda-
for you. So that's okay. It's all gonna work out. Because you know why? Because your love is playing guitar or singing. It's just it's as simple as that. But of course, it's not easy. There's all kinds of weird sacrifices you have to make in order to make that kind of dream happen. You have to get along with other people. You might have a lot of talent on your own, but that only goes so far if you can't work with anybody and argue properly.
Right?
So I mean that's a big part of why I'm still in a band 25 years later.
Because you get along with everybody, you understand that you
Well,
have, or that you have
look, you're
to-
not always going to get along,
True.
but you gotta pick and choose your battles and get through them.
Exactly.
So
Thank
there
you
you go.
so much for your
You're
time. We
welcome. My
really
pleasure.
appreciate it. Thanks
Sure.
for helping us to bring awareness to something that really shouldn't exist, but we're working on
Yeah.
it. So,
Awesome.
All
Cool.
right.
Happy to
So
help.
that's our second interview, and we're going to stay around for Finger 11 because, we gotta. All right. Done with that?